This right here is my favorite thing ever. In the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
So, is the final season part 2 any good? Yes. Yes it is. With part 2 of the final season wrapping up, I was planning on making a retrospective on the entirety of the season. However, we're getting a third installment, so that'll have to wait. This season was full of surprises. Welcome ones, and ones that weren't so pleasant. There were a lot of things that were, unfortunately, lacking in the last part that were improved immensely here, and sacrificed for other aspects of the season. The animation was greatly improved this time around. To get it off the table, first and foremost, yes, the CGI Titans look much better in this part. They blend much better with the environment, and their movements are more fluid and have much more weight to them. The use of additional and in-between 2D shots and frames added so much, helping cement these Titans into the 2D setting they're in, much more efficiently. These shots were normally gorgeous, may I add. The overall consistency of the character designs, backgrounds, color grading, and more was much improved as well. One major problem I had with the last part was the lack of consistency, which ultimately wasn't the animation team's fault, as they had an unreasonably tight schedule. The animation wasn't free of all problems, however, as there were many scenes that looked flat and kind of closed off. I don't know how to explain it precisely, but MAPPA's overall look and feel for Attack on Titan kind of feels claustrophobic. There are lots of spaces and scenes where the background and surrounding elements feel bland and lifeless, ultimately resulting in a closed-off feeling. This was all due to the drop in quality of the backgrounds in this part. However, that is a personal opinion. I hate to compare studios, but it seems to me that when I watch Wit Studios' adaptation, the coloring, art, and overall atmosphere they bring to the table creates a rich world that you feel immersed in, whereas MAPPA kind of just feels flat. It reminds you that you're watching a show. You're not part of it. However, the overall animation was a big improvement over the last part, and generally, I'm very happy with it. There were no real changes in the order of events of the story, or how anything was handled in comparison to the source material, except for one big shift, in which they moved the flashback from chapter 123 to the episode adapting 130, allowing for one big conglomerate flashback. This worked well in terms of fixing up the pacing a little bit. However, the transition into the start of the rambling for Mikasa's monologue in the manga was kind of wasted, considering what we were given in the anime as a substitute. She's just kind of staring off into the sky on the back of a boat? That's it? Kind of a letdown if you ask me. In terms of the soundtrack, quite a few additional tracks were recorded for this part. Kota Yamamoto really outdid himself with Footsteps of Doom, truly encapsulating the terror of the rumbling. The new track played in Ymira's backstory was also quite fantastic, and worked perfectly for the flashback. The variants of other tracks such as Splinter Wolf and Ashes on the Fire worked really nicely with the action sequences they were implemented into as well. And just for a second, can we talk about that opening? Holy shit, that new opening is already my new favorite. I'm a fan of Sim, but they've outdone themselves here. This is exactly what Attack on Titan needed. A metal opening. Overall, this part was a massive improvement over the previous, with excellent, improved animation, a tight grasp on the source material, fantastic new music, and a grounded production. Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2 gets an 8 out of 10 from me.